Good afternoon. I want to welcome everyone to our second FCF Town Hall with the CEO of 2020. The series continues to get better each week when I look at the subject matter and the people that we bring on. Happy to have Jessica Baker and Nick Nelson back with us. I will repeat this each week, but one of the most important parts of our efforts during the COVID-19 pandemic is to maintain communication with our stakeholders and to provide services to our participants during this time. Today, we want to discuss our scholarship programs and our workforce development programs because they both kind of do both of those areas for our young people and young adults. We have two of the organization stars with us today, and Jessica Baker, our Pay It Forward director out at CSUMB, and Nick Nelson, our VP and First T executive director. Both of them are well known throughout the community because of the great job that they do and the passion that they bring about their departments. And their volunteers and participants kind of follow along with their passion in the community as a whole. But first, before we get into discussing and bringing Nick and Jessica in to talk about the programs, we're going to take a short poll. Our poll today is on the screen. If you just take a moment to fill it out and go through it, it would help us to better gauge where people are coming from and what brought them to our particular town hall today. So while I'm talking about Nick and um, Jessica, would you please quickly fill out we'll give you a moment to fill out our poll. Once again, Nick and Jessica, because of what they do in our community, are so well known um, and so involved and so passionate, as I said earlier, about their different departments and programs that everybody knows who they are. We continue to uh, always try to highlight, our staff and the people who are doing such a great job for organization that allows people to know what we have to offer. And there aren't two people who do it as well as they do it in the nonprofit industry in our area. So at this point in time, I am going to allow Jessica Baker to now give you a brief summary, as Nick will also do later, of her area at Pay It Forward and the scholarship program. Jessica.
Thank you, Bill. I'm so delighted to be here and to get to share about one of my favorite things in the world, which is the Pay It Forward Scholarship and Mentoring Program. There are several steps in the process of becoming a Pay It Forward Scholar. First, the student must meet all of our eligibility requirements and plan on attending CSUMB. Second, in mid-October, the student must be nominated on time by a school counselor, teacher, administrator, or another adult familiar with them. Next, beginning in mid-January, the student must complete our online application form and submit it on time. Lastly, the chosen finalists complete an in-person panel interview with our scholarship selection committee, and that happens in early April. And our results are announced soon afterwards. The number of scholarships awarded each year is based on the fundraising we've completed up to that point. In addition to those that are awarded scholarships, we place students on our waiting list in case additional funds become available prior to school starting in August. Once students become a part of Pay It Forward, they must meet several requirements in order to remain in the program and continue to receive their scholarship. One of those requirements is that they stay on track to graduate in 4 years while maintaining at least a 2.5 cumulative GPA. The results of that are that 79% of our students in our program graduate compared to a national rate of 11% for first generation college students. In addition, more than half of our students graduate with honors. Another requirement of the program is that students mentor a younger person for 5 hours per month from August to May. So that's how they pay it forward. This has resulted in our students providing more than 20,000 hours of tutoring and mentoring to young people in Monterey County. In addition, our students must meet with their own mentor at least once per month while they're in school. To date, more than 150 extraordinary community leaders have served as mentors to our students in our program, helping them successfully navigate college life and beyond. Students in our program receive a total of $20,000, and that's distributed 10 months out of the year in $500 increments, as long as the student meets the requirements of the program. To date, we've distributed over $2 million in scholarships. Our students come from all over Monterey County, representing almost every Monterey County high school. Last but not least, our students must attend monthly student meetings where they connect with each other and also learn important life skills. This means that they become financially literate, they take better care of themselves, and they utilize the resources available to them in the community. Pay It Forward is entering our 13th year, and we're so proud of our alumni. They work locally and nationally for organizations like Uber, Natividad Hospital, CET, and also several local school districts. We definitely couldn't do the incredible work we do in this program without the support we receive from individuals and also institutions. If you would like to join us or know someone who might, you can visit our website to express interest in serving as a mentor or to donate to one of our scholarships. You can also contact me directly about anything related to the program, including if you have a great idea for a guest speaker or a topic for one of our monthly meetings. I'm available anytime for questions or support, and the number, my phone number and email are at the bottom of that screen, and they'll be available later on the slides when you get them. But if you have any questions right now, I'm also happy to answer them. Jacob, are there any questions so far for Pay It Forward?
Yes, there are. The first question that we have, how often do waitlisted scholars get awarded? And do you accept restricted donations for specific scholars?
I love it. Yes. So almost every single year, students on our waiting list do receive a scholarship, and that can happen for two reasons. Sometimes students that are offered scholarships end up declining our offer because they are not going to go to CSUMB, and you have to attend CSUMB in order to get our scholarship. So they might choose a different university. Also, sometimes funds come in over May, June, and July, and if we do get donations during that time over the summer, we give those scholarships to a student on the waiting list. So it happens in two different ways. And yes, that does happen. And then about the restricted donations, we don't allow someone to specifically support a specific student. But however, I will note that because of the unique partnership that we have with CSUMB, the administrative costs associated with our program are covered in a way that means every single dollar that someone donates to a Pay It Forward scholarship goes directly to the student.
The next question we have, what happens if they have to take a year off school, travel abroad, etc.?
Yes, students do have lives, and sometimes they take a leave from the university or they decide. We highly encourage that students study abroad. One of my favorite things is that one of the alumni from our program, one of the first scholars, Pay It Forward scholars, is actually the coordinator of the study abroad program at CSUMB. So if students do decide to or need to leave the university for some reason and go on administrative leave, or they decide to study abroad for a semester or a year, they don't lose the scholarship. However, because they can't meet the ongoing requirements month to month, what we do is we just hold that money for them, and we help them, get other financial support during their time away. And then once they're back, then we, they have that available to them.
The next question, are there any considerations for scholarships for students already attending CSUMB?
Okay, so meaning like if they are a freshman or a sophomore or something like that. Unfortunately, well, it is a restricted scholarship. So the scholarship is only available to high school seniors in Monterey County. Those are the only ones that are available. But CSUMB is an extraordinary institution, and they have a lot of other scholarships for current students, and they also have other support programs. You know, we have the unique experience in Pay It Forward of being both financial support but also personal support. So there's lots of other scholarships available at CSUMB for current students, and there's also other support programs like EOP, TRIO, Guardian Scholars. They have a basic needs program. There's a ton of support available at CSUMB, both financial and personal.
The last question we have, what impact results have you gotten on your alumni?
Oh, our wonderful alumni. Well, like I said, one of them is the coordinator for study abroad at CSUMB, and I just love that. One of them is a vice principal at an elementary school in Salinas. Several of them are in medical school or in graduate programs or PhD programs. They work, as that previous slide said, you know, all over. Most of them do return to the community. You know, they're local students that go to this local university and they come back to local organizations. They also come back and talk to our current scholars. So they provide advice and support to the current students and help them, you know, with what worked for them, what helped them. And then lastly, we do have alumni that serve on different committees in our organization, so that they can give back in that way, including that scholarship selection committee. There's an alumni that serves on that committee and helps us select scholars.
Thank you, Jessica. I'm going to hop in. I see a couple more questions are popping up, but we're going to be able to answer some of these questions at the very end. But due to time, I would love to make sure that we get Nick his full allotted time in so he can talk about the other scholarship programs that we have. And then we'll double back and answer those questions before we close that are pertaining to Pay It Forward. And I see a couple more still popping up. So we'll get back to your questions, but we're going to turn it over to Nick so Nick can educate us about the other scholarship programs that we have.
Great. Thanks, Bill. Thanks, Jessica. And I think Bill knows me, and he knows that in the past I have talked longer than I should have. So I'll do my best to stick.
That's true.
Welcome, everybody. Nick Nelson, Executive Director for the First Tee Monterey County. So I'm going to share a little bit about the opportunities that are available to participants of the First Tee from three different angles. First of all, for the John Zoller Memorial Scholarship, which is available to members of the First Tee of Monterey County. It was established in 2006 by the Monterey Peninsula Foundation to honor the life of John Zoller, who was the co-founder of the First Tee of Monterey County. He was the chairman of the Monterey Peninsula Foundation. Without his hard work and dedication, the First Tee would never have formed. And so to honor him, we offer this annual scholarship, and there are certain requirements for the scholarship. One, obviously, is you've got to be an active member in good standing for the First Tee of Monterey County, and will have to have been enrolled for 3 years. You'll see the GPA that is required for this is not, 4.0 or 4.3, exceptionally high. It's attainable for most students in the program, and you do have to be at the Birdie level. There are some other requirements, and in the early stages of the scholarship program, when the First Tee was just in its stage, we were unable, obviously we didn't have any participants that were old enough of high school graduation age, and so there was a clause in the scholarship that should the First Tee of Monterey County not have a participant who was eligible, then it would go to a participant in a Northern California chapter. So again, it's a very localized reward, and that award is for $10,000, and it's paid over 4 years.
Real quick, I know you're going to move on to the other scholarships, but one of the things I will say too is that scholarship is also supported by the Monterey Peninsula Foundation and the members of Tehama, and they support it through the Clint Eastwood Memorial Golf Tournament that they do memorializing John Zoller. So I just wanted to give a quick shout out to those two and look at two funders who help support that program. And because of this extra support from the members at Tehama, we're able to give 2 scholarships this year. And I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it was just, I couldn't hold back. Thank you, Nick. I'll let you continue.
Wait, now I have to add
okay.
something. Yep, hold on, sorry.
Oh, now you're
Suppose someone
what time? Now,
interrupts,
come
then
on.
no, because I have to then say Monterey Peninsula Foundation and Tehama also support the Pay It Forward Scholarship. You know, Monterey Peninsula Foundation funds several scholarships a year, and a lot of Tehama members serve as our mentors. So I have to add a plug too. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, Jacob, if you could reset the time clock, please. Thank you. So I wanted to now educate you and help you become a little bit more aware of some other scholarships that are available locally for youth golfers. And these are organizations that we partner with, have partnered with for many years, amount of support from, and we do some great programming with. So the first one is the AT&T Pebble Beach Junior Golf Association, association that is located on the Monterey Peninsula. It operates junior golf tournaments throughout the county, in the Valley and South County. They've been around for over 30 years, and they do a fantastic job of, let's say, providing competitive golf and golf lessons for youth. And then one of the big arms of the association is the scholarship program. Throughout its longevity, the Junior Golf Association has given away over $1 million in scholarships. This year, the association gave away 6 named annual scholarships, and the amount of each scholarship ranged from $2,500 to $5,000 each. So you can see that that's very valuable. You do have to be involved in the association to be eligible to be awarded one of those scholarships. Second is the Quail Lodge Men's Golf Association. Once again, Quail Lodge, as all of the golf courses in the county, big supporters of the program. And the Men's Golf Association have been awarding scholarships for a few years. Several scholarships are available every year, and it's open to all youth in the county. But just to let you know that the first tee participants have received over $43,000 to date. So again, it's an open scholarship for youth in the county, and our participants who have applied have received over $43,000. This year we received four participants received opportunities from the Men's Golf Association. So again, just they do a great service to our youth in the county. Youth on Course, again, another great nonprofit located in Pebble Beach, Poppy Hills Golf Course. They provide opportunities for youth to play golf courses at reduced rates and practice at reduced rates, as well as offering a great caddy program and an apprenticeship, which helps youth in their financial and career development. But as we're focusing on scholarships this afternoon, I want to let you know that the Youth on Course program has given away over $1.7 million in total scholarships, and that's been awarded to 241 young people. So if you're good at math, unlike myself, you'll be able to divide one into the other and come up with an average of those scholarships. And then the final one I wanted to cover today is they're not a local organization. We, as the chapter of a local organization, but the First Tee home office that's located in St. Augustine, Florida. This year, they have completely revamped their scholarship program and are offering awards and scholarships not dissimilar to the ones that are offered through the Pay It Forward program. They're offering $5,000 annual awards, and they're renewable up to 4 years. They're in the process also of developing some more scholarships, but there's several scholarships that are available to participants of the First Tee throughout the network. So participants from the First Tee Monterey County are eligible to apply for the home office. And of course, if you want to learn more about this, please just jump onto our website, either the First Tee or the Future Citizens website. We've got information there. And then myself or any of our staff would only be too pleased to answer any questions that you may have. So moving right along, now I want to focus on some partnerships that we have with our two-year college programs. And these are pretty unique. I'm glad we brought them up today because both Monterey Peninsula College and Hartnell College offer some out-of-the-box scholarships for our youth. The Evans Scholarship incentive program is again, it's a pretty unique program. They offer specialized workshops, trainings, counseling courses, motivational activities. And if you get accepted into this program, you receive free tuition whilst at Monterey Business College. Then once you graduate their 2-year program and you have been accepted into a 4-year program, they turn around and give the participant $4,500 to attend the college of their choice. So again, it's a great opportunity. Hartnell College, something similar. They have 2 programs, the Welly and the Mile. One is specifically for Women's Education and Leadership Institute, and the Mile is for the men's. And both programs focus around a leadership and mentoring training and education program. And once you've been accepted into that, they will give each scholar up to $2,000 for completing the course. So it's really, you put the work in first and then you get the reward. Good old-fashioned values. So Jacob, I was just wondering, do we have any questions?
We do. The first question, can more than one participant win the John Zoller Scholarship?
I love that question. Originally, it was designed for one winner, but in the past, we have had some extra funds available when there have been some, almost impossible decisions to make on the applicants. And so, yes, we have awarded in the past twice, I believe, 2 different scholarships in John's name, but again, that has been based upon funding. So I'm glad that Bill gave a good shout out to the Tehama and Quail Lodge members. That was really good.
The next question is, what can my freshmen do now to prepare for the John Zoller Scholarship?
Excellent. Well, the biggest thing is to make sure they're an active member of the first tee, attending the golf and life skills classes, and following all of the particulars of regular attendance, and then start creating a sort of like a golf resume, really, of events and things that they've played in. And one of the criteria for being awarded the scholarship is being involved in the program, but being involved in the program as a leadership type role. So we offer many different opportunities to volunteer and give back at the program through the junior coach program and several other events that we put on. So really the short-term answer is to have your participant jump in feet first and get embedded in the program.
Our next question is from one of our favorite participants, Mr. Timmy Allen. The question is, I am starting high school this year, but also attend Hartnell College. Can these scholarships be used for any school or CSUMB only?
A great question, Timmy. Glad you're on board here. We're looking forward to seeing you when things, change. And Timmy, you're a great participant. We love to have you around. Just to answer you sort of directly, you're doing exactly what it takes to be sort of considered for the application award for the John Zoller Scholarship. Your involvement is terrific, and the scholarships, so the Hartnell and the MPC scholarships, those are, you have to earn the scholarships through attending their programs, and then you can take that money with you as you go to a 4-year college. The Pay It Forward scholarships are to attend CSUMB. So basically, the answer is right across the gamut. Yes, it's for some colleges, and for colleges of your choice.
Jacob, so I'm gonna jump in, Nick, real quick, and because we're getting into some cross conversations that kind of move over into Jessica's area too. And Jessica, will you answer his question too? Because his question also was, would he be able to apply for Pay It Forward too? And I thought I heard that in that question. So Jessica, could you respond to him in that?
Yeah, like Nick said, the Pay It Forward Scholarship and Mentoring Program is only for CSUMB, but the others, besides Hartnell and MPC, are open to any 4-year university that you apply to.
Thank you. Okay.
And I'll just add, since you added this, Bill, sorry, I'll add that,
right.
that we have had a participant, an extraordinary participant, who received the John Zoller Scholarship and became part of the Pay It Forward program. And we've had, first T participants that are now went through Pay It Forward and are now alumni of the program, of our Pay It Forward program as well. So dip into as many buckets as you can.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I know that Jessica has expanded with the Pay It Forward programs, educating students about other scholarships outside of the Pay It Forward scholarship. Even on the website now, they're starting to talk about other opportunities when they get notified of them. So, not only can you find out about the Pay It Forward scholarship when you come to the website, you also can look at what information Jessica has found on other types of scholarships available, and the same thing with the First T. So I would say to you, as Jessica just said, dip in all the buckets that you are eligible to. And so, Jacob, I'm going to let you, as we begin to make sure that we don't run out of time today as we did last week, let you start to ask Jessica some of those questions that I said we would double back to. And Nick, because I see I got one for Nick too that came in that I have for him too.
We do have a good amount of questions to continue with. Before we do that, we want to give a shout out to Mr. Hugh Smith for joining us. The next question that we have for Nick is, how many girls have won, and is the $10,000 paid to the student or to the school?
Great question. As you know, I'm a big picture person, and I won't give you the precise and accurate number of the girls who have won. However, I will let you know that over the years that we've been presenting the John Zoller Scholarship, girls have won 60%. So they've a great job of getting their applications in and making sure that the T's were crossed and the I's were dotted. So yeah, they've done super.
And it's the same for Pay It Forward. I know this wasn't asked, but we're in the 65, 70%. The girls are just outstanding. They're rocking it.
So you telling me
Come on,
they
boys.
followed through? So you saying that the girls have been following through? They have followed through.
They're
That's
amazing.
what
They're
that
all
means.
amazing. I love every one of them.
Yeah. And if I can just kind of expand on that answer a little bit as well, is we've got a great coach, great staff member, Coach JJ, and he's a resource that's available to assist with applicants' process. He's done a wonderful job of following up with them, helping them through the process. And I think that's sort of one of the reasons why we're resulting in so many applications being sent into these wonderful scholarship opportunities this year.
We have a question for Jessica Baker. And this is from a student to Pay It Forward, will we be meeting up with our mentors through Zoom for fall of 2020?
Oh, that's a very specific question. Those details are still unfolding. We are in uncertain times, and our hope is I think that the greatest value of our programs are that one-to-one, that personal connection and contact and connection with each other and connection with mentors and connection with coaches. And I think, there's nothing like being together in person. And so wherever possible, we are going to make that happen safely and following the guidelines of the county, of the health department, of CSUMB, because CSUMB has some pretty strong restrictions. So we're going to make sure to follow all the guidelines, but our focus, our emphasis will be on trying to be together if it's possible safely. And then we'll do virtual alternatives if that's not possible.
Another question that we have here is actually, we have a question about the JZ scholarship for Nick, and it is if you can confirm that the JZ scholar could be used at the 2-year schools.
That's a good question. Historically, it's been a 4-year scholarship paid over 4 years, and so I'd currently have to go with our, to answer that question accurately, to go with our past precedents and say that it is for a 4-year college.
Next question is for Jessica. Are the mentees highly considered for scholarships? And I believe it's referring to the participants that we work with.
Yeah, that makes sense. Everyone's highly considered. There are no favorites and there are no unfavorites. It was quite a difficult year this year. So we had 178 students nominated for Pay It Forward this year from all over the county. And every single one of them is deserving and unique and varied. There were, student athletes, and there were AP, computer science people, and there were there's such a variety. And so that in particular isn't, I would say nothing in particular actually is considered like an advantage. Of course, we absolutely love when participants come into our program. They have that unique special connection to the entire organization, but that's not considered, like an extra advantage.
Thank you, Jessica. That's also, I believe, was a record this year, that number
It
of
was.
applicants,
Yes.
which meant a whole lot of work on you, Elaine, to do. You and Elaine had,
I didn't mind the work. I minded, not being able to provide scholarships to so many people. I mean,
yeah.
the students in our county are extraordinary and deserving and hardworking. And so we try to give away as many as we can. And then, like you said, we try to direct them to other resources. There's a big emphasis of obviously high school seniors looking for support and financial as well as personal support. But we also encourage, current college students to continue to look for that support. So your freshman year, keep applying for scholarships. Your sophomore year, your junior year, your senior year, apply for additional support because there is money out there available.
Yeah, that's one of the toughest parts about this business for all of us is, financially having enough money to fulfill all the dreams of young people who come to us. And, so we're working hard. I know Gabriella, I mean, that's always in her mind and thought on how do we get more money for the scholarship programs. I even know at Youth on Course and with NCGA, when we do the apprenticeship program, we only can take so many young people into that program because of the available funds. So, all the programs, continue to need the support of our community and of our donors. And we're going to continue to ask for that support. Matter of fact, we'll be having a big push and a big drive on dollars to support these programs within the next few weeks. But, the hardest thing for any of us to do is to tell somebody we can't help them move their dream along. Even though we help, tons of young people to meet their dream, we also have to, because of funding or lack of funding, have to tell young people we can't be a part of, helping that dream move along. And that's something that keeps us all up at night. And we're going to keep pushing and keep raising dollars to be able to help more and more young people in all those programs. I'm sorry, Jacob. Questions? I got one from my aunt after Jacob does this one, then she sent one.
Great.
Our next question is for both of you guys. And how do FCF programs staff support students in obtaining scholarships?
Great.
Go for it, Nick.
Okay. Yeah. So the way we support them is through basic sort of guidance throughout the application process. I want to say hand-holding, and I say that in a positive way. We have staff, especially as I say, Coach JJ, who will help review essays and certain written requirements that they'll have to complete, encouragement, phone calls, and just really hold them accountable, and help them to submit before the deadlines. I can think of a couple of great instances with young people where they had gotten bogged down, or maybe they didn't believe that they could complete the process, or didn't even feel that they were worthy of winning a scholarship, and maybe it had never been done before in their family, and the coaches are there to support, and develop their life skills until they actually send the document to the receiving organization. So it's it's pretty, you know, I mean, it's a one-on-one support process.
Yeah, and I'll just add that our scholars also, some of our scholars in the Pay It Forward program mentor high school students, some younger students and some high school students. And absolutely our scholars help their mentees apply for scholarships, including the Pay It Forward program, but other scholarships as well. And then several of our scholars, because CSUMB is has a particular program and emphasis on service learning. So every student has to do several service learning projects. And some of our students do internships and service learning in high schools, local high schools. And so then they support those students to apply for our scholarships and other scholarships as well.
I'm going to jump in and ask the question from my aunt. She's listening by phone. I don't know how she's doing that, but she's listening by phone. Says she had a little technical difficulty and that I need to buy her a new laptop. So anyhow, I'm
We
going to ask the
agree.
question. No, no. Anyhow, I'm going to ask her. She said it seems like a great program. Is there any, and because it is a great program, is it any way that other states and cities or colleges or nonprofits are able to model after our programs? Have we rolled it out to anybody else to kind of help them be able to model this in their city? She's in Detroit, so I can understand where she's coming from with the need of people bringing great ideals and successful programs into other cities. So Nick, I'll let you and Jessica answer that. Jessica, I'll start with you first on her question.
Yeah, early on in Pay It Forward history, so like I said, we're this fall we'll be entering our 13th year of students, and in the first couple years, noticing the significant impact, positive impact that the program was having. That was, you know, part of the conversation was like, hey, this is working, and other people should replicate it. So one of the things that's great about Pay It Forward, you hear that a lot because the woman who wrote the book originally, and then the movie came out based on the book, she didn't trademark it because she wanted people to use it. She wanted it, you know, Pay It Forward to be a part of the lexicon and be a part of the conversation. And so, you know, anyone can start a Pay It Forward program. And there are others. They're not exactly like us, but yes, and I'm happy to. You know, it's interesting. Nick mentioned the home office, the First Tee Home Office Scholarship, that they did some changes, and that it sounds similar to ours in a lot of ways, and they actually are adding a mentoring component. And I had a call with them, you know, and told them, here's what we do, here's how we do it. So I'm happy if you know of someone that you want to put me in touch with, I'm happy to share the wealth of. There are no secrets. I'm happy to say this is exactly what we do and exactly how we manage the program, and you should do it too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she mentioned Nick, and I'm gonna let you finish.
Mhm.
And just to follow up on what Jessica was saying, she was saying like Wayne State University. I hate that she didn't mention Michigan or Western Michigan, you know, two of the better colleges and universities in the
You're
state,
biased.
but she did mention Wayne State University, and so she's going to try to reach out to somebody at Wayne State and maybe, and I'll connect you two together. That's probably the best way.
Absolutely.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Mhm.
she's moving in on her influence over me to make me kind of push her questions through. So,
That's how things
uh,
happen. Yeah.
but I will
No,
get that to you. Go ahead and Nick and respond to her.
oh yeah, sure. Great. A super question. Yeah, we have a philosophy that is very sort of non-profit, and that is that everything that we have we'll share with other non-profits. You know, we're all in this together. You know, none of us are competitors. You know, we're all fighting against, you know, the competition of cell phones and video games, you know, and gangs. And so anything that we have, we share. We share ours through the First Tee Network, through a best practices program where all the chapters can then, you know, go in and see what we do. There is a chapter in Detroit, in Greater Detroit. It's a good chapter, you know, and I can reach out to them to share what we're doing here. Youth on Course, again, is started in Northern California. It's now spread across the country. These opportunities for young people to get on the golf course for $5 and dollar green fees. And I'm sure that the access to the scholarship program is going to spread, as is the golf rounds and practice balls. So yeah, we're here to share everything that we can, and the people just got to ask.
Nick, I told you somebody was going to, and she says, "Who is that guy with the funny accent?"
I'll repeat what I said yesterday. I don't have the accent. You guys have got it.
Anyhow,
Yeah.
but Nick, that's one of the things that people really want to emulate is successful programs, and as successful as Pay It Forward has been, and successful as our programs and our up and coming programs that we have in modeling after someone else is some of the best flattery that you can get, that somebody wants you to provide their information. So again, Jessica, she's heard me talk about Pay It Forward. I think this is the first time she's able to kind of hear. I probably don't articulate as well as I should. Definitely not as well as you did today, but we'll continue to do that. But I never thought about sharing. I don't know why. I guess because I'm so worried about just what we do and expanding what we do that I haven't given that a lot of thought. So I'm thankful for her question, and I'll put you two together at some point that she may have some questions for you offline or at a later date with that.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, Jacob. I'm gonna let you get to one more, and then we're gonna have to wrap up because the time has flown by. We got about 4 minutes left, and then I got to wrap up with two of them. So we got about 2.5 minutes left.
Perfect. We have one question left here, and it says, often when funders find out my teen is receiving a scholarship, they won't consider them for more money. Any tips on how to get as much help as possible with keeping integrity and being honest about scholarships awarded?
Well, we don't ask about other funding, so I don't know what to say. We're all about students getting every single dollar that they can, and like I said, dipping into every bucket possible and knocking on every door. Um, so I don't know. Nick, do you have anything on that?
I think you hit the nail on the head when you said, showing integrity. And I think above all and everything, you just have to be upfront, honest, and then the rewards will come through displaying integrity. We all see too often today when you try and circumvent the system and it doesn't do any good. So I think just throw as many applications as you can out there, and the ones which are meant to happen will happen. But again, just have the applicant, do the things that they should be doing. Those giving back, the supporting the organizations that they're part of, and showing integrity throughout.
And persevering. Yeah,
Absolutely.
we all hear a lot of no's when we're out here. When you're out here making a difference, and trying to get money to support good causes, you hear a lot of no's, and so just keep going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Excellent.
Yeah, in defense of some of those scholarships out there that limit people to, and they want to know, it's because there's so many young people in need, and they're just trying to help some of the next person on. You talk about Pay It Forward. That's kind of what they're doing, saying, okay, you're in good shape. Let's help someone else. So it's the unselfishness about it that the other scholarship programs are trying to look out after too. So in their defense, I want to say that on their behalf. But folks, that's about all we're going to have. I need to wrap this up. Our next town hall will be on June the 4th, I believe, from 3 to 3:30, a little bit shorter version due to the next guests that we will have on. Their time is really, really in demand. I'll just leave it at that. But we will have discussing the COVID-19's impact on our nonprofits and our community as a whole. We'll have David Gill of Real Farms, heavy contributor to our community, to nonprofits. He also happens to be our board chair at the Future Citizens Foundation. So I'm proud to have David come on and give us some of his valuable time, a great community leader, and also another community leader who also gives a lot of his time, not only from a support basis to other nonprofits, but personally, and that's Steve John. He's at almost all the other nonprofits, including ours, events. So he's out there at everybody's events supporting all the different nonprofits. And we know what the Monterey Peninsula Foundation does for all the nonprofits in our county and the support that they give. So we'll have David Gill and Steve John on next week. Once again, two great community leaders and donors who give a lot to both our professional, who both give a lot professionally and personally. That's what I'm trying to say. And they sacrifice family time to make sure that they can give time to the community and be at all these events. So I'm happy to have both of them on next week to talk about the COVID-19's impact on our nonprofits and our community, because there are a lot of nonprofits out there hurting, and there are a lot of people in business hurting. There are a lot of our community people who are hurting due to unemployment. So it'll be great to have those two talk about how they're helping nonprofits and helping our community as a whole to fight this COVID-19 dilemma that we find ourselves in with that. But Jessica, as usual, superstar. Nick, superstar. Great job of educating, the community about what we do. We're definitely going to have to do this again later on in the year. And when we have a little bit better chance to communicate with more people and even let more people know about it. So until next week, I look forward to it. And especially I'm excited about, once again, David Gill and Steve John, because I think they're going to bring a lot of information to this format. And thanks for tolerating my aunt. Um, and Jessica, I'll be, because she has particularly, not to knock you, Nick, she asked, precisely about Jessica's program. So I'm going to connect her with Jessica, and I'll get those two together. Thanks everybody for supporting our second town hall. And like I said, we'll have our third next week, next Thursday at 3 o'clock. And I hope everybody tunes in to speak with David Gill and Steve John. Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. Bye-bye.